皆さん、こんにちは。ミッキー京子です。今日はスペシャルゲストに来ていただいております。Would you tell us your name, please?
Yes. Hi, my name is Thomas, Thomas.
Thank you. あの、この TH ですけれども、いつも私は TH は歯と歯の間に舌をちょっと入れて、ふというようにと言っていますが、この名前は違います。フロマスではないですよね。トーマス、トーマス。そして、これのニックネームはトムです。私たち知ってますよね。トム、we know。うん。彼はですね、ご両親が英国から来られていて、彼自身もその発音をよく聞いてらっしゃるので、アメリカ育ちの発音とちょっと違うところがあるとおっしゃってます。例えば、こちらでは kitten というのを、Thomas, how do you say kitten?
Kitten.
One more time.
Kitten.
音が違いますよね。こういうふうに、彼がこれから話してくださる時も、ちょっと音が違うよとおっしゃってました。今日はドライビングについて尋ねたいと思います。Thomas, I'd like to ask you about driving. When did you get your permit? I mean, driver's license, and then how?
Okay, so when I was 16 is when I went in to get my permit. That's kind of when you take online classes, you get some information, learn the basics of driving. You get your permits, and you can start driving with your parent, get some more experience. Eventually, going in to take your actual driving test with an instructor, as well as take a couple more online tests to make sure you understand the rules of driving in
Hmm,
America.
well, when you say you got the permit, but uh, before you get permit, how do you practice?
So a lot of people spend a bit of time with their parents, maybe in a parking lot. I know there's an elementary school
Mm,
nearby
mm,
where I grew up,
mm.
and so we would my dad would take me over there, and I would just slowly drive around the parking lot to get a bit of experience. Some people don't have that, so they're just kind of getting introduced with getting their permit.
Mm. Well, so everybody has to practice with a parent or somebody, adult.
Yeah. Parent, guardian, if nothing else, then you're getting kind of some experience when you're going in for those driving lessons,
Mm,
for getting the permit and then going in for the license itself eventually. You'll need experience before you go in for the license.
mm. And then when you say driving lessons, uh, that that's a special lesson, driving lesson.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll do that through the high school itself.
Mm,
You'll sign up for a class, you'll get set up with usually a teacher, a counselor,
mm,
someone else at the school who's doing as kind of a side job. They'll then take you out in a specialized car where they can sit in the side seat while you're driving in the driver's seat. And they actually have a brake on their side as well as on the driver's side. So in case there's worry of getting into an accident, they can press on the brake themselves. But they will continuously drive around with the student
mm.
for uh, maybe meeting a couple days over several weeks
Oh.
before they can kind of get the credits to be able to go in for the license.
Mm. Thomas, I'd like to explain a little bit about what you said in Japanese.
Okay.
Okay? 彼が言ってくださったのはですね、ドライバースライセンスを取る前に、ドライビングレッスンというのがありますが、例えばハイスクールで、その係になっている方たちが、例えばトーマス、この人、この日とこの日に練習しますよというようなスケジュールを組んでくださって、彼はその人と一緒に特別な車に乗ります。その車はですね、サイドブレーキがあるんですよね。だから、トーマスが例えば練習している時に危ないと思ったら、その隣に座っている指導員の方が、わっとブレーキを踏むことができるわけです。そういう練習を学校がその計画を立ててやってくれるそうなんですね。In Japan, we have to go to a special place. But high school never takes care of us. I mean, there is a place we have to go and learn it costs a lot of money.
Mm.
We have to pay a lot. And many, many hours, I think months, we have to go.
Hmm.
Especially in Japan, the roads are so narrow, narrower than this country, and we have to have a good skill to drive.
Mm.
How about your case?
Uh, yeah, you get the permit, and usually you're practicing over the period of at least a year
Oh, over
before,
a year?
usually it's about a year before you're getting the license itself. You're getting various amounts of practice, as much as you can beforehand. Of course, everyone here really needs to drive,
Mm,
unless you're in a very dense city in which you can take public transportation.
mm.
Everyone here generally needs to drive, so we have a lot more drivers and various levels of competency with
Yeah, that's right. So, you took a test and did you pass just one time?
Yeah, I was able to pass both my tests on showing the no knowledge of the rules and everything, as well as my actual driving portion. I
Mm,
was able to pass on my first try.
mm, good.
Yeah.
And then after that, have you ever had any accidents?
I've never gotten into an accident, luckily. I will say, we do have strict speeding laws here, in which I did one time was speeding over the limit, and that's when you get pulled over by a cop.
Yeah.
They explain you're going over, you have to deal with that process, and
Yeah.
usually a fine towards that.
Yeah. Did you get a ticket?
Only once, yes, I did. Only once.
Okay, let me tell them in Japanese, okay?
All right.
トーマスはとてもいいドライバーで、事故に遭ったことは一度もありません。No accident。でも、ポリスからティケット、オーバースピーディングでティケットをもらったことが一回、only one time, that's
Only one.
incredibly great. Yes.
Which at this point I've been driving for a decade.
Yes. 何十年も運転してるんです。でもたった一回だけなんですよ。私は、I got many tickets.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. So he's great. And then next one, I'd like to ask him about the driving from his place and my place. So where do you live? He's visiting me. 訪ねてくださいました。
And so we might have to hold it a bit close, but so I live in North Carolina, as where we're visiting.
Really, there is a point.
Yeah. So I live here in Raleigh, which is the capital of North Carolina, and I'm visiting them in Asheville. And so even though the United States is so large, just going from this point to this point is about 4 hours of driving time.
Yeah, thank you. 今おっしゃったのは、この、州都ですね、州都、Raleigh というところから私が住んでいる、そのアッシュビルのすぐそばに私は住んでいますが、普通アッシュビルって言います。そこに来るのに約4時間運転かかりました。Did you have a break during 4 hours?
Usually for that, we have rest stops along the highways in which it's easy to stop, take a break, make sure that you're mentally aware enough so you don't get in an accident or get too tired. So I did take a rest stop break.
How long did you take?
Just about 15-20 minutes, just to go to the bathroom, take a few minutes, walk around, make sure I'm fully aware and awake.
One moment, please.
All right.
今おっしゃったのは、ラリーからアッシュビルまでいらっしゃるのに、4時間ぐらいかかるとおっしゃいましたけれども、休憩取りましたかと聞きましたら、はい、休憩する場所があるんですよね、ハイウェイに。そこで、15分5分ぐらい休めて、そしてリフレッシュしてきましたということです。Well, usually, do you drive a lot every day? I mean, to go to work or something like that?
Yeah, so my current commute between my house and my work is about half an hour of driving. So I'll drive to work half an hour. At the end of the day, I'll drive half an hour back home. With my work itself, I have to go to a lot of homes, a lot of new builds, because I work in power distribution, electricity. So I might drive for an extra hour during the day, just going to various sites.
Oh, so you mean commuting about 30 minutes. And then when you start your work, you visit several areas.
Mhm.
So it depends on the day. Sometimes you have to drive long time.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes I'll spend maybe half my day driving, other days I might not have to drive at all.
I see. Okay, one moment, please.
All right.
彼はですね、電気のディストリビューションに関係する仕事をしてらして、いろいろなところを訪問しないといけないんですね。だから仕事を始めると、あー、車の運転があるんです。でも、それ以外に毎日、あの、コミューティングタイムですね、通勤時間、約30分間毎日、30分行って30分帰るという往復に使っています。だから彼かなり運転するんですよね。Thank you very much. And have you ever drove in America somewhere besides this area?
Yeah, so I've
Show us.
I've gone many other places from here actually. I've gone, if we can move it a little bit
Okay,
this
good.
way. I've gone from North Carolina down to tip of Florida, the Everglades. I've gone from North Carolina up to New York, the state and the city, as well as I've gone from North Carolina all the way over to North Dakota, which is all the way up here. Most of those are at least an hour drive. North Dakota is several days drive.
I'm sorry. North Dakota, did you say several hours?
Several days.
Several
It's
days.
yeah,
You mean from here to here,
yeah,
several days? I
yeah.
see, I see. ここから、ノースダコタ、にいらっしゃったことがあるんですけれども、何日間もかかりましたということです。Yeah, so basically, do you like driving?
It's not my favorite. It's more of a necessity.
Necessity,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
It's something I'll listen to music, I'll listen to podcasts, things like that to entertain myself, but it's more something I have to do than something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, that's right. 彼はですね、運転好きですかって聞きましたら、まあ、好きというよりは、運転しなければならないのでやっていると。そしてその運転している時には、ミュージックを聴いたり、podcast、talk, right?
Hmm.
を聞いたりしていますということなんですね。I'd like to ask you about Raleigh. I went there one time and oh my goodness, it's so crowded.
Yeah.
Lots of cars and many lanes.
Hmm.
And there is one way like round, and then it's called outer or inner, or how do you call that?
Yeah, we have several highways that take you from different parts of Raleigh. There's several other cities that are surrounding the town itself. And so they have an inner and outer loop that takes you, uh, basically they're highways that you can take. The outer loop is easier from getting from one part outside of Raleigh to another part outside of Raleigh, from east of Raleigh to west of Raleigh, especially if you're just trying to bypass the city itself. So if you were coming from the coast to the mountains, you might just drive around Raleigh. The inner loop is more useful if you're trying to get from one part of Raleigh to another part of Raleigh.
Oh, I see. So inner pool mainly is used for the commuter. I mean, for those people who live, but
Yeah.
those people who pass, they use outer or something
Yeah.
like that. 私はラリーに行ったことがあるんですけれども、 outer と inner という言葉があったんですね。there was a sign, inner or outer. And then I just didn't know where to go. So I just took something.
Yeah.
And then I just went somewhere I didn't know, and then I parked, and I had a hard time. So is there any tip or some idea that when I come and get into, I like to come into rally, so I should take inner. If it says the sign says inner, if I take that way, then I can get inside of rally.
Yeah, that'll take you to the downtown areas, the more busy, crowded areas where you have more of the commercial, you have more of the storefronts to go to, where a lot of people live in the suburbs. It'll be closer to the inner circle. Outer circle is more for people on the outer towards the countryside or outer suburbs, or if you're trying to go around Raleigh or to another city that's nearby Raleigh, such as we have Durham and Chapel Hill are two cities that are right next to Raleigh itself.
Yeah. Well, ラリーの近くには、ドゥラムとか、それからチャペルヒルとか、有名な場所があるんですよね。そういうところに行くときは、アウターっていうのを取ればいい。I had never seen the sign inner outer until that day. So I was just so panicked. Yeah, but when I go next time, if I want to get inside, then I just calmly take inner.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, my goodness, it's already over 15 minutes. So, Thomas, thank you so much for coming and then be my guest. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.